Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 381, The Unexpected Detour. Intermediate. Rain lashed against the windows of the bus, blurring the already dreary landscape into streaks of grey and green. Sarah sighed, pulling her scarf tighter around her neck. She hated long bus journeys, especially in this weather. She was on her way to visit her aunt in a small village nestled in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales, a trip she'd been planning for weeks. But the relentless rain threatened to dampen her spirits, and the rumbling of the bus engine was starting to lull her into an uncomfortable half-sleep. Sarah was a city girl, through and through. She loved the hustle and bustle of London, the vibrant energy, the endless possibilities. The quiet solitude of the countryside had always felt a little alien to her. But her Aunt Millie was different. She possessed a quiet wisdom and a warm, infectious laugh that Sarah found comforting. And Millie's cottage, with its fragrant rose garden and crackling fireplace, always felt like a haven. The bus driver announced a brief stop in a small town called Haverton. Sarah peered out the window, trying to make out the name on the sign. She'd never heard of it. The town looked sleepy and unassuming, a cluster of stone houses huddled together against the wind and rain. She considered staying on the bus, eager to reach her destination. But the thought of stretching her legs and grabbing a hot cup of tea was too tempting to resist. She disembarked, pulling her coat tightly around her. The air was crisp and clean, a stark contrast to the damp, musty smell of the bus. She spotted a small cafe across the street, its windows glowing warmly in the gloom. It looked inviting, so she crossed the road and stepped inside. The cafe was cosy and filled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and warm pastries. A few locals were scattered around the tables, chatting quietly. Sarah ordered a pot of tea and a scone, taking a seat by the window. As she sipped her tea, she watched the rain continue to fall, transforming the street outside into a shimmering watercolor painting. Suddenly, the cafe door opened and a young man entered, shaking the rain from his hair. He was carrying a large, battered guitar case. He smiled at Sarah, a friendly, open smile that made her feel instantly at ease. "Terrible weather," he said, nodding towards the window. "It is," Sarah replied. "I'm just hoping it clears up soon." "Me too," he said. "I've got a gig tonight at the local pub, and I'd rather not play to a drowned audience." Sarah chuckled. "A gig?" she asked. "Are you a musician?" "Yes, sort of," he said. "I played folk music mostly, just simple songs about life and love and the beauty of the countryside." Sarah was intrigued. She'd always enjoyed folk music, but she hadn't listened to it much lately. They chatted for a while longer, about music, about the town, about life in general. His name was Tom, and he was warm and genuine, with a passion for his music that was infectious. As Sarah finished her tea, she glanced at her watch. The bus would be leaving soon. She hesitated, unsure what to do. She was eager to see her aunt, but she also felt a strange pull towards this small town and this newfound connection. Tom noticed her hesitation. "You don't have to rush off," he said. "The bus won't be here for another hour. Why don't you come to the pub tonight? I'm playing from 8. Sarah thought for a moment. It was a detour, an unexpected change of plans, but something about the idea appealed to her. She'd been so focused on reaching her destination that she'd forgotten to enjoy the journey. "Okay," she said, surprising herself. "I'd love to." She called her aunt and explained that she'd be a little late, promising to take the next bus. Millie was understanding, telling her to enjoy herself. Sarah spent the rest of the afternoon exploring Haverton. It was a charming little town with a quaint market square and a beautiful old church. She wandered along the riverbank, enjoying the peace and quiet. She even found a small bookshop and bought a collection of local pottery. That evening she returned to the pub. It was a cosy, traditional pub with a roaring fire and a friendly atmosphere. Tom was already on stage, tuning his guitar. He smiled when he saw her. He played a mix of original songs and traditional folk tunes, his voice warm and expressive. Sarah was captivated by his music. It was simple, yet profound, capturing the essence of the countryside, the beauty of nature, the joy and sorrow of life. As she listened to Tom's music, Sarah felt a sense of peace she hadn't experienced in a long time. She realized that she'd been so caught up in her busy city life that she'd forgotten to appreciate the simple things, the beauty of a rainy day, the warmth of human connection. When the gig finished, she thanked Tom for the wonderful evening. "Your music is beautiful," she said. "Thank you," he replied. "I'm glad you enjoyed it." Sarah finally took the last bus to her aunt's village, arriving late but happy. She told Millie about her unexpected detour, about the charming town of Haverton and the talented musicians she'd met. Millie smiled knowingly. "Sometimes," she said, "the best journeys are the ones we don't plan." Sarah realized that Millie was right. Her detour to Haverton had been a gift, a reminder to slow down, to appreciate the present moment, to be open to new experiences. It was a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful destinations are found along the unexpected detours of life. Vocabulary notes. Lashed, verb, to strike or beat forcefully, especially with a whip or something similar. Example, rain lashed against the windows of the bus. Meaning, the rain was hitting the windows very hard and violently. Similar words, battered, pounded, slammed, whipped. Dreary, adjective, dull, bleak and depressing. Example, blurring the already dreary landscape. Meaning, the landscape was already not very cheerful or interesting, and the rain made it even worse. Similar words, gloomy, dismal, cheerless, bleak, uninspiring. Nestled, verb, to settle or lie comfortably and snugly within or against something. Example, a small village nestled in the heart of the Yorkshire Dales. Meaning, the village was located in a sheltered and peaceful spot in the valley. Similar words, tucked, snuggled, cradled, sheltered, ensconced. Hustle and bustle, noun phrase, busy and noisy activity. Example, she loved the hustle and bustle of London. Meaning, the energetic and lively atmosphere of a busy city. Similar words, commotion, hubbub, activity, excitement, stir. Solitude, noun, the state of being alone. Example, the quiet solitude of the countryside. Meaning, the peacefulness and quietness of being away from other people. Similar words, isolation, loneliness, seclusion, quietness, tranquility. Alien, adjective, foreign and not familiar. Example, had always felt a little alien to her. Meaning, the countryside felt strange and unfamiliar to her. Similar words, foreign, unfamiliar, strange, unknown, different. Quaint, adjective, attractively unusual or old-fashioned. Example, a quaint market square. Meaning, the market square was charming and old-fashioned in a pleasant way. Similar words, charming, picturesque, old world, rustic, unique. Inevitable, adjective, certain to happen, unavoidable. Note, this word isn't explicitly used in the story, but it's a good word to know in this context since Sarah did take the bus eventually. Example, not from the story but related. It was inevitable that she would eventually return to her aunt. Meaning it was certain that she would go to her aunt's house eventually. Similar words, unavoidable, certain, sure, destined, predictable. Detour, noun, a route longer or different from the direct one taken to avoid obstacles or for some other reason. Example, her detour to Haverton had been a gift. Meaning her unplanned change of route to visit Haverton turned out to be a positive experience. Similar words, diversion, bypass, roundabout route, alternative route, excursion. Captivated, verb, to attract and hold the attention of someone by charm or beauty. Example, Sarah was captivated by his music. Meaning, Sarah was completely fascinated and enthralled by his music. Similar words, enthralled, mesmerized, charmed, fascinated, spellbound. Profound, adjective, very great or intense, having or showing a deep understanding or knowledge. Example, simple yet profound. Meaning his music was simple on the surface, but it had a deep and meaningful impact. Similar words, deep, meaningful, insightful, significant, thoughtful. Essence, noun, the intrinsic nature or core of something. Example, capturing the essence of the countryside. Meaning, his music captured the true spirit and feeling of the countryside. Similar words, core, heart, spirit, nature, substance. Story written by Google Gemini 2.0 AI. CC Music, drifting at 432 Hz, unicorn heads. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.